What's happening? Yeah, I was thinking I did a little segue on Kim Jong Un Fung Hung Bung Jung of North Korea, and it was a little, I don't want to say doom and gloom, but it wasn't the most pleasant, some of the scenarios that I presented. And I was thinking, as I was watching, some more of the news, that I had another solution. Because I said, what are we going to do? And I come up with a solution. Last week, they had this marathon. It was James Bond. It was pretty cool. You know, when I was a kid, you'd watch James Bond. Your parents would watch. It'd be like with Sean Connery, and it'd be he was cool, you know. But I was just a little kid and was shaking, not dead. But he was cool. And who else? I'm thinking. I remember Roger Moore. There was a lot of James Bonds, I would imagine. There's quite a few, but I remember those two when I was a kid. And then more recently, Pierce Brosnan. Pretty cool, Uh, this blonde-haired dude recently, Daniel something or other. Daniel Craig. He was pretty cool. And now, I guess, recently, and I'll have to see it, they're going to come out with this first woman Bond or whatever, That Charlize, whatever her name is, Tilton, whatever. And I got to see that, because that chick is sweet. She's pretty, and she's easy to watch. And, in shows like that, when you like somebody, and they're good looking, and they're good actors, they tend to make the movie easier to watch because you're watching the character and you like that as well as the story, which the storylines for those James Bond things are pretty goofy anyhow. They were really goofy in the day when I was a kid, and they seemed just so whacked out unrealistic. So many things. They had the car and the gadgets and everything. But anyhow, I got off on the rant there. But the thing is, I was watching this, Bond kind of series, like had a lot of these different people in it and the things they did and the countries they went to and everything. And I said to myself, you know what? I think I came up with a solution. I really do. With the problem with North Korea. And it's going to sound crazy. We take Kim Chung Wong Fung Hung Bung Jung Jung Bung Ho. We take the guy out. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, like, hey, what's wrong with you, Lapo? What are you, nuts? No, I'm not. I'm not. I think it would be the least path of resistance, to tell you the truth. We don't have a lot of good options, as I stated in my last little thing. And we certainly have people, which reminded me of it in the James Bond things, even though they're, unrealistic. But some of the technology is not unrealistic, to get around and infiltrate and all do all that crap. I know it sounds crazy. I want to keep it on a lighter note this time. I don't want people freaking out. Oh my God, bombs and everything, which could be a reality, but let's not talk about that just now. Let's talk about Kim Jong Hung Fung Wong Kong Bung Bung Ho. We take him out. Oh yeah, we send in 007 or someone like him. Dun, 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 even if it's a chick, right? Hey, okay, we take him out, and hey, we don't know what happened. We blame it on somebody else. Oh yeah, it could be anybody. And guess what? Now that I think about it, guess what? You can't even tell me for 1 minute, anybody that's got half a brain, and you ain't gonna fool Lapo, and that's me, Lapo, that it hasn't been talked about maybe in the higher ups in our government, maybe even Trump-diddy-dump-diddy-do, that, hey man, we got to get rid of this dude. He's a 33-year-old nut job. You don't think they've considered that? The higher officials and the CIA and stuff, hey, maybe we can, Kim Jong-un, whack, hiya, and whack them. Now, please. So if you have half a brain, you'd know that that probably was an option. But I don't know why. That was the simplest of options, to tell you the truth. And I never even thought about it until some, whacked out James Bond series when I thought about it, going like, hey man, maybe we take that route. So it was just an idea, and for all you naive morons out there, don't think that it hasn't been thought of. And you know what? Now that I think about it, don't think that that's not a possibility on top of it. But anyhow, see, wasn't that kind of fun? Playing around a little bit there. That was a little bit better than my last segment on the Kim Jong Un, Hong Bong Jung Jung, North Korea thing. That was a little more. It was scary, and I didn't want to scare anybody. I scared myself actually, but no, I don't want to scare anybody. So I came up with this. I just came up with the solution. You know, I mean, I don't know exactly how or who, but I think he's out there. Oh yeah, might be 008 instead of 007. You never know. So keep your eye on that. And I'll be watching the news, the continuation of this ridiculous story with this idiot in North Korea. Trumpskity Dump is going to meet with the Chinese president and Putin from the Soviet Union over there at this G20 summit or whatever it is later on today, and we're going to see what comes of that. So, in the meantime, keep your eye on 008, wherever he is, and we'll talk again.